Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Friday edition of Moohead Radio. I'm your host, the big and furry bovine. Joining me, two desperate souls. First, a newbie, Keith Lewandowski. Keith, say hi to everybody. That's not Keith, that's Joni.
Hey, what's up?
There he is. There's Keith. He's got his Coors Light, and he's ready to roll here on Moohead Radio. I'm ready to roll, too. We've got an hour in front of us to talk about nothing in particular, kind of like the Seinfeld of internet sports talk, except the Cleveland Browns on the national stage yesterday, and that's what I am going to be talking about, and it's going to be very interesting because I'm not done from the last show yet. I still don't have this whole election out of my system yet, and I want to go someplace that it's sports related. Don't worry, we're not going to sit here and dwell on politics.
Okay.
But I will say this. After sitting through a campaign that was so nauseating, full of more liars than I could possibly handle at one time, the last thing that I was looking forward to was having my coach of the Cleveland Browns be just another liar. And that's what I got. And I'm going to have Bruce Brennan tell it to you firsthand. Look, if I could build a wall around that guy, I'd build the wall, okay? What can I love you, Cleveland, but I got to be honest with you. I need you. I got something caught in my throat. All right. I am nauseated by what I saw. Nauseated by what I saw in yesterday's football game. And the reason that Hugh Jackson is the biggest fucking liar that I can think of is that he sits there and tells everybody in weeks past, you know, I've told Cody Kessler, you know, sometimes you just got to say uncle. Sometimes you just got to lay down. Sometimes you just got to get rid of the ball. You don't want to make the mistake. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do that. Sometimes you got to take the easier road. It may not be the greatest way, but if you don't have time, get rid of the ball. And yesterday, out of the clear blue sky, he yanks him out of the game, and then after the game says, I was getting tired of seeing the plays missed downfield. And it's like, so he puts in a 37-year-old halfway to dementia guy who makes the worst throws that you could imagine, including one off of his back foot straight up in the air to a double or triple covered Terrell Pryor, tries to make the ultimate fucking hero play, and he stays in the game. Now, Keith, how can you explain this to me?
Well, one, the biggest liar of the day of this entire week is actually Nick Saban. He didn't even know it was election day.
Oh,
now,
wow.
switching from QBs, I told you off air, I didn't watch a single second of the game. I could care less. Because they're going to go 0-16. That's what we need. That's the only way to get our draft pick. Number one. Are they going to screw it up? Yeah, probably, because it's the Browns. So.
Now, Joni, we just lost Joni. I don't know. She just cut right off. So I don't know what the deal is there. She has some internet problems where she's at. Of that, I'm certain. You know, the thing that bothers me most about this is how do you win? And there she's coming back to us. Hi. What happened to you?
Hello. I don't know. Everything froze up and then it kicked me off.
Well, you're definitely having freeze-up issues, Michelle. There's something wrong with your internet connection because it was funny. I had Tony on the other day, and it was just perfect. I had other people on. Scott Peachy was on the other day. We did the political show, and he was just fine. But for some reason, it's breaking up.
Again.
Breaking up.
Check out it before the show.
is so hard to do. So what we're talking about is Hugh Jackson being a big fat liar by pulling Cody Kessler from a game saying he left too many plays on the field when he has told him the last 3 weeks basically not to try to be a hero out on the field. What do you make of it?
I think it's a joke. You're absolutely right. Hugh was out there not only being buddy-buddy with Terrell Suggs, which really got on my fucking nerves, but he's out there like he doesn't give a shit about anything that happens on the field. Let's call a timeout.
Wow, you're breaking up big time. Are you hearing her, Corey? Corey, Keith.
Nah, she's breaking up my side.
Michelle? No, Michelle. Get off, Michelle. Michelle, you're going to have to. God, it sounds like special ed. It sounds like special education edition of Moohead Radio. Yeah. Michelle, bing. You're going to have to come back on, Michelle. I had to eject her. That's the Moohead ejector seat. I've been working on that function, and it worked really well, just like the James Bond movie. You know, my grief in all of this is that we have a head coach who reeks of desperation, and he, what he said was, "I want to give this young guy the confidence so that so he can learn how to close out a game." Well, Jesus Christ, he was within 1 touchdown when they pulled him out. We immediately fell behind so far, it was ridiculous. And he never gave him a chance to get back into the game after the second half. He never gave him a chance. And when the game was still within reach, instead of trying to coach the rookie up, he deflates his ego, his motivation. He benches him. And now the kid has to sit and watch a 37-year-old guy throw interception after interception, fumble after fumble. Not only is it a bad decision from the standpoint that for the future of the player involved, the quarterback, it hurts his confidence, but what it was like is, oh my God, we're close to this game. This may be our last chance at winning one. I'm just going to go for the Hail Mary pass, and I'm going to put the other guy in.
That's what it sounded like. It was a desperation move. He was just, I'm the coach. I don't know if you saw the clip where he corrected himself, where he said it's my team and not our team. He made that decision, and he said, nope, it's my team right now. I want this W, and that's it. And that's what he went after. And
I don't see how anyone could see it any other way. I don't see how anyone could see it any other way. It's like it is like it's the last chance to win, and he is doing exactly what he told Cody Kessler not to do, which is to make a bogus hero play and then end up making a bigger mess out of what you've already got. And that's exactly what Hugh Jackson did. He could have just said to the rookie, okay, here's what I need you to do, here's what I need you to do, and let's see if we can pull this one out. Or he grandstanded, which is what he did, which is exactly what he told his quarterback not to do. So I guess it's okay. Do as I say, not as I do. That's Hugh Jackson.
Yep.
And I cannot fathom how this man could possibly end up having a job next year. I don't ever want to see him again. I can't stand what he's doing.
He's going to be here for another at least 2 years. I guarantee it, because they're not playing around anymore. This is the guy that they wanted, and this is the track that they're going. They're doing their analytics and all this. They've already pushed it forward. This year's done. They're looking forward. That's all there is to it. We just have to kind of suck it up, and it fucking sucks, but
yeah, now I'm going to send something to Amsterdam here, and maybe he can join us. All right, it is done, Amsterdam.
Suck it up, and it fucking sucks, but
yeah, now What was that? That sounded like echo, echo, echo.
I switched tabs.
Okay. Gotcha. So, yeah, again, people say, well, and I'm seeing what they're saying in the chat room, that it's like we're 0-10 either way, and it doesn't really matter. But it does matter, because when you say to the press and to the world that you want to see what Cody Kessler's got so that you can analyze whether he's the guy that you want to play for your team in the future, and then at the first little sign on a short week, on a Thursday night game, on the road, you sit there and pull him, that goes, it's like watching the political campaign all over again. I didn't say that. That's not what I did. I never said anything like that before. I've never done anything like that before. I never said, I didn't use a public server. Well, I did, but but the FBI cleared me. Well, no, they didn't really clear me, but on and on the lies. I never said grab him by the pussy. I never, bing, there it is. We're consumed with duplicitous, lying, motherfucking cocksuckers, and they're all around us. It's like the invasion of the body snatchers. They've just appeared, and we can't get rid of them. We know what Hugh Jackson says after every single game. I am accountable and I take responsibility. And, we hear all that shit all the time. But the truth of the matter remains that he didn't give the kid an opportunity when he said that's what the rest of this season was about. He's a liar. I could never play for somebody like that. That's for damn sure. I never could. This is a dangerous game.
He is lying. He is. That's what they do. They're professional head coaches. What else are they going to say?
Yeah. Now,
what else could Hugh Jackson say? Apart from saying, "Oh, you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck. Hey, you were kind of good, but the team sucks." He can't say that, though.
I think Michelle can't get back in because I think the eject function may have been a permanent ejection. This is kind of like the NBA. I think I may have permanently ejected her. It's I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. And there's nothing I can do about it because I'm sorry. All right. So anybody else who wants to join in, I won't eject. So the link is there in the chat room if you have an interest.
It can't be any worse than me.
No. You could be. You could be worse. Yeah, let me give you some examples of how it could be worse than you. All right. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I don't know. I'm Hugh Jackson. I'm a fucking idiot. That could be what you would be like, but you're not. You're intelligent, even though you've had clearly one too many beers, but still you're intelligent. And there's a lot of people who are out there who would not be able to maintain a thought. So you're doing just fine, Keith. Just fine. And that's basically, there's Amsterdam. Hi, Amsterdam.
Hello, guys.
Yep. Now, Ziffles is, of course, taking exception to me saying I'm overreacting. I'm overreacting, but he is happy to be 0-10. He's thrilled to be 0-10 because that's like the burning of the Cuyahoga River to him. It's something that he can tell his grandkids about because he loves failure, because he's Northeast Ohio guy. He loves failure. I don't like failure, and I don't like head coaches who come in saying that they're quarterback gurus and then proceed to pull a young man who's 11 for 18 in the game and hasn't turned the ball over. Oh, that's smart, Michelle. You use a different name. Very clever. I'm sorry about that. I had to do it because your audio was so broken up that it was interrupting the show. We couldn't get around it.
That's okay. I don't know what happened, but I reset the computer and the router, so it seems to be fine now.
Okay. And so we got Amsterdam, we've got Keith, we've got Michelle, and I'm just and I'm berating Ziffles because honestly, it's more than being 0-10. It's having no direction. It's having no faith in the players you have, and it's grandstanding and this notion that you can flip a switch and you're going to make this great decision that's going to make everything. He's the anti-Tito. I mean, everything he turns to shit. That's what's happening. That's what's happening to Hugh Jackson. Now, what do you think, Michelle? You didn't get a chance to say, so now you're gonna.
Yeah. So yesterday, right off the bat, Hugh lost me. Not only fraternizing and buddying with Terrell Suggs on the sideline. What the hell was that about? Calling a timeout in the first drive without even getting a play off the line of scrimmage. We called
two timeouts. Two timeouts under 5 minutes.
Just because you haven't used any timeouts in the last 3 games during the first half of the game doesn't mean that you have to blow your load early. To me, Hugh looked terrified yesterday. He was like a rookie pitcher on the mound going against the best lineup in baseball. He shit his pants before he even got on the field. He was skittish. He wasn't confident, and he did exactly what he said he wasn't going to do, which was play musical chairs with his quarterback. And if Cody Kessler is truly the future of this team and you really want to find out what he's made of, tell me why you took him out after he threw a touchdown pass to put him in for somebody who every time he threw the ball, threw an interception or fumbled it. Every single time. Every time McCown got the ball, he fucked up. Can you tell me what you're doing to Cody Kessler, not only for his morale, his confidence, but his skill set? If you're going to say, hey, this could be our guy, we have to go with him and see what he's made of, and then you do that shit to him on national television, and then your decision proves that you look like a fucking idiot. He lost me yesterday. You can't tell me that he's a good coach. Hi, baby. Hi, what's up? Aww. Oh, yeah, baby.
It's Jade Wolf.
Gracie heard me talking to Jade Wolf. Now she's like, I want some. No, go away.
Jade Wolf is like the best.
I gotta tell you, and yesterday my girlfriend and I were watching the game. She's like, Hugh Jackson's gonna get fired. I said, no, he's not, because nobody else wants to coach this train wreck fucking team. There's nobody else who's gonna take that job. You're stuck with him, and he knows it. So he's doing everything that he can, and it's all garbage. He's a joke, just like the entire team from the front office down to the center or the left guard. Who was that at left yesterday that was just standing there watching people go around him and tackling the quarterback? I mean, it was just pathetic.
Well, you know what the other thing is?
That was a missed block by Irving. He looked over, and Irving had that.
No, the other one. It wasn't Irving. It was
Pastor. Probably Pastor, number 67. Because he's famous for that. Here's the other thing that's really amazing. The look on Hugh Jackson's face is like, oh my God, it's the giant shitball. I see it coming. It's rolling down the hill. Well, I see the train a-coming. I mean, and he can't stop it. And it's like, and I'm going to make a crazy judgment
panic. Complete panic.
To try to prevent this big shitball from rolling down on us. Let me say something about the Cody Kessler and Josh McCown thing. Could it be, is it possible that nobody scores points in the second half because the offense stinks, because the execution stinks, because there's no blocking? The very thing that he criticized Cody Kessler for, standing in the pocket too long, that would be Josh McCown. Throwing the ball under duress instead of throwing the ball away, throwing it up in the air, that would be Josh McCown, not Cody Kessler. Cody Kessler may not be making big plays down the field, but he's not making mistakes. Look how quickly we fell irretrievably behind because of the mistakes that McCown made. If you don't make those mistakes, I'm not saying that we do much better, because the defense is an abortion, but still, it's amazing to me watching the head coach when he even sniffs that he's close. I mean, and it's the same thing with the offensive scheme. It's like the weird gadget plays at the weirdest times that don't fool anybody. It's like, Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't think that if you put Hulk Hogan in, he has a better chance of running around the end. I mean, what is the point of bringing a guy in when you know what he's going to do? I don't know how does this guy get his, I've got this offensive pedigree. And it's like, not a head coach. You're not a head coach because you're not bringing the team together. There's no unity on this team. They don't communicate. You send 12 men on the field on the first play of the game. And you know why they did it? Because Baltimore lined up 3 wide receivers on the first play of the game, and Ray Horton didn't think they were going to do it, so they weren't prepared and had to burn a timeout.
Ray Horton's the worst.
I mean, that means that you've gambled your whole alignment on the fact that they're going to run the football on the first play of the game. You're not confident that you can stop what they run at you. You have to fucking guess. You have to be kind of like Karnak the Magnificent and guess what they're going to do before they do it. I mean, it's pathetic. They can't,
because everybody knows exactly what the Browns are going to do. They are so predictably bad that there's nothing they can do to outsmart anybody. I mean, they can't even run the trick plays. They can't do anything anymore because they're figured out. There's nothing special about the offense whatsoever that could make them do anything. Like, they're so, like, everybody has them just completely figured out. It's like being through the lineups like 27 times. You know exactly what to do. You know what they're going to do. They're not capable of pulling anything over you. They're not capable of pulling it together as a team to do something effective out there. And everybody knows it. We are the joke of the league, from the front office down to everybody in a uniform. We are the joke. We are the laughingstock of the NFL.
Well, now it was Drango. It was Spencer Drango who missed the block.
And it was a big white guy that
number 90 rushing in, and I don't even know what he was doing. He was picking his ass or something. I mean,
no, that's the one move that Irving when he did that double take that looked, nuts.
No, it was Drango.
Yeah, he did that double take, and it was Irving that was supposed to slide over and take that block.
He never does, though.
Yeah, I know. Irving can't block anything.
And I like what's being said in the chat room. It's not the coaches, guys. It's the defensive backfield. Well, it is horrible. There's no doubt about that. And then, Ibrahim Campbell is a guy who maybe should have been in the fucking Bible, but not on a football field, because that guy's horrible. And Kindred, terrible. Campbell, terrible. Poyer, terrible. Reynolds. It's true. There are no safeties on the roster. Ziffels and I agree with that completely. The funny thing is that with the exception of the one long pass that was just as always misplayed on an underthrown ball by the Browns secondary, it wasn't like there was any 60-yard broken coverage, though, even with a guy like Reynolds playing out there, who is really not an NFL player. I don't know what they're being coached as far as prior to these games, because they come out looking totally unprepared to play. And it doesn't make my confidence very high when the first play of the game, they just decide to throw 3 receivers at you and they force you into a timeout. I mean, what's the worst?
It's embarrassing.
What's the worst that can happen? We've been down 7-0 every time the other team gets the ball right off the bat.
They got to cut Ray right now. They got 10 days between the next game. Don't even wait to the bye week or the end of the year.
They're not going to. They brought him back. They're not going to get rid of him.
Yeah, I
know that they're not going to get rid of him, and nobody's going to be around to take that position. You can't even eliminate any of the staff because nobody wants to be part of it. You're not going to be able to find anybody to take over any of these coaching positions.
You can pay some idiot.
You would be no better off than you are now. If you eliminated anyone in this coaching staff, there's nobody better than them who would actually accept the position.
Well, I mean, and
they have to go college.
Nobody would want to come here. I mean,
college is too cushy, honey. They're not going to leave college to come to the Cleveland fucking Browns. I'm sorry, not happening.
Look at this. Look at this. J.D. Collins comes in, 9 tackles, gets a sack, looks disruptive in the backfield, doesn't know what in the fuck he's doing. All right? I mean, we don't even have NFL caliber players playing on our roster. We have guys who shouldn't even be in the league and would not be even on a roster of any other football team in the NFL. So, a guy comes in with no practical experience with our scheme and plays it better. Actually, Collins and Kirksey would be a nice tandem, but Collins ain't signing here. Why don't you wake up and smell the roses? The Browns got him, it turns out, for a 3rd/4th round conditional pick. when he decides to sign someplace else, the Browns get a 3rd/4th round pick, a compensatory pick. That's really why they got him. They figure out we'll get him for 8 or 9 games, and we'll also at least get something. It's kind of like the parting gift on the game show. Here's a copy of the parting gift, and here's a little bottle of shampoo you can shove up your ass crack, and thanks for playing. I mean,
your lifetime supply of Royce-A-Roni.
The San Francisco treat. And that's what...
A toaster from Monty Hall.
That's it. What's behind door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3? It's not a door. It's a fucking curtain.
Can I kill myself instead, Monty?
Well, door is a hell of a lot easier, and curtain is really kind of conceptual, isn't it? You know? And the thing I hated about that show, they had imbalanced psychological sickos dressed up like fucking radishes and vegetables and all kinds of fucking shit. And when they guessed the wrong one, fuck. I mean, could you see if that show with concealed weapons today, a guy who dresses like a zucchini in the studio, you've just made fun of him for picking the wrong curtain. He's going to whip out an Uzi and blow Monty Hall's fucking head off.
That's why it's Wayne Brady, because Wayne Brady can choke a bitch.
God damn.
Wayne
But
Brady
is it a
shit
crime
now.
to shoot a Canadian, Moo? Wasn't Monty Hall a Canadian?
Oh, I
Isn't
guess
he
you're...
dead?
I didn't even know he was. But it would make sense because
I don't think that's a crime, is it?
he was non-provocational, you know? Yeah,
He's
back
probably
off,
from
you
Toronto.
fucking
He's
zucchini.
okay.
Back off. Leave me alone. I'm not choosing you. Pick me, Monty. Pick me. Fuck you. Get out of my face. You know, he wasn't nearly as confrontational as he should have been, Monty Hall. But at any rate, you know, I'm going to go for something else here, too, while I'm talking still on the end of the election cycle and the lying of the head coach and the lying of the candidates. I had something happen to me today. I want to tell you about this. My wife has scoliosis, all right? And so, you know, she can't do the things she used to do in the house as far as cleaning, and also we have cleaning people. And they're 2 foreign gals who are, you know, and we have given them a bunch of furnishings and furniture for family members and things because, as I said on the program, I'm a humanistic liberal. I'm a person who believes that people who have tough circumstances, you help out. But these people when they clean, they keep taking stuff and misplacing it. And I never know where they place it. And it's like, takes forever to find the shit. Well, I put a pill.
It's on eBay.
Yeah, right. I even want to then put it on eBay. So at any rate, it was a Celebrex pill, you know, because I take Celebrex every morning for my arthritic condition. And I put it on the little dinette table, wide open there, sitting all day, sitting there. All of a sudden I come back and it's gone. It's nowhere to be found. It's like, I said, excuse me, where, you see a pill there? No, I did not see no pill. I didn't see no pill. You know, it's like, you know what it was like? It was like Senor Wen says, I did not see a pill. Yeah, the pill was right there. I did not. Wait, I'll do it. I did not see a pill. So now I'm like, this sucks because, and now I'm angry, and she turns her back on me. She's done. She's fucking done. And it's like, wow. I said, excuse me, that's on the floor somewhere. You knocked it on the floor, and my dog, if he eats that pill, he's going to die because that's the dog who ate the anti-inflammatory. I said, you got to find that fucking pill and find it now before the dog gets a hold of it. I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is. I said, look! Look! Wait, red rum. I'm sitting there going, oh, I can't believe this shit. And finally, you know, they're looking, and here it is that they're looking for. And it's like, it is in my purse. It was all the way underneath the dishwasher on the floor where the dog would have consumed it. And I said to her, I said, you know something? I said, you can't do this. You can't just wipe a table with medication on it. You can't do that. You can't take my medication and hide it like you've been doing week after week. You can't do it. And she turns her back on me, and she's angry, and she's fuming mad. And I say to Mrs. Moohead afterwards, you know, she's acting up, man. She's acting up. And she goes, oh, yeah. She had a run-in with the people who are our housekeepers when we're not here, the people who look after our house here in Florida when we're up in Carolina. Yeah, she didn't like the tone that he took. And I could tell that she didn't like the tone you took to her. And I said, you know something? I said, why are we helping these people? They're not even legal. These are not even legal people. They're not even legal to be here. What a fucking attitude after taking gifts from us. You know something? Build the fucking wall. Be my guest. Take these cunts away from me. I am so sick and tired. You're bleeding heart liberal. I made a decision today. I am not a Democrat anymore. Done. I am done with the party because the party abandoned me. You know what we've done? We have made people think that they can fuck us around and do whatever they want to do. And when it doesn't go their way, they complain some more. You know, a bunch of protesters out there. Do you know that I ran into a person on the internet who accused me, a black guy, accused me of being a racist? And it's like, I beg your pardon. It's like, why don't you go next door to where you live and down the street and ask every one of those assholes why they didn't vote? And then you can tell them that I personally said, I hope one of them gets shot by a cop when they're unarmed because they could have done something to stop this shit and they didn't do it. Yeah, and I feel the same goddamn way I feel about our football team. We've had countless opportunities to make ourselves better, but we turn to the fan base.
I normally don't agree, you know, with Stephen A. Smith, but he went off on Colin Kaepernick when Colin Kaepernick said he didn't vote. And he said, what the, you know, in essence, what the fuck right do you have to get compassion behind your cause when you don't even go out and vote? It's bullshit. He said, you want change? He basically gave a scathing remark about all the non-voters out there running their mouths and not voting. I mean, if all these people have these complaints and your life's the most affected by who's going to be in office and you don't vote, then fuck you.
That's the problem. These are kids who are entitled and they think that everything should be handed to them. They're still 30 years old living at home. These are kids and people who don't want to work for a living. Yeah, I know. I have friends who are complete morons, and they're also 45-year-old waitresses. They're 55-year-old waitresses who have never done anything with their life, or the 55-year-olds working in the grocery store from when I was 16. These people have never made any aspirations for themselves, and they've never done anything with their lives. They're always going to want everything handed to them.
Society in the world.
That's where these protests are coming from. You've got people who expect things handed to them and free things given to them by the government without having to work for it, and then they go and wreck everything else in the name of protest. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing, and I can't even...
You want to know something?
I can't even describe how upset
Donald Trump meets with the President Obama and says he's a wonderful man. You know, I have to sit here and listen to these lies. This is the guy you said was born in Kenya. You did everything but call him a fucking nigger. Give me a goddamn break. Stop the lying already. You don't like Barack Obama. You don't like black people. It's fucking obvious. You have no respect for women. It's totally obvious. I'm an independent now. I will go with who I think is best. I will not vote for who I know is worse. But the fact of the matter remains that, and it's like Ziffles is talking about the help. I'm trying to help these goddamn people establish a foothold in a country that I think is great. And what I did was not only do I pay them, I give them gifts for themselves and their families, and this is how they thank me. They shouldn't even be working here. They shouldn't even be living here. If the law found out they were here, they'd be back. If I made a fucking phone call, if I made a fucking phone call, they'd be back. No, I mean, I will terminate these people.
You like shit. Why not get back at? Fuck it.
because that is not the way a person who's responsible behaves.
What are you going to do? Fire them and let them do it to someone else? Why? No. It's like saying, oh, this guy raped my daughter, but he doesn't need to go to jail because I feel bad for him. So you let him out to do it to somebody else. Why not just nip the problem in the bud?
I'm not a fucking narc, and I'm not a narc for Donald Trump and his hate brigade. Let's be honest about that. Just because I'm not a Democrat anymore, it doesn't mean that I support that asshole.
So you have problems, but you don't want to be active in fixing the problem. Got it.
Lying sack of shit. Barack Obama's a wonderful man. You know, and how do you think the first lady felt? Michelle Obama having tea with a prostitute. Wonderful. I mean, I don't know, man. I think all of this just stinks to high heaven. And the people, you know, and I keep telling the protesters, get out of the cities and protest. Go to the black neighborhoods and protest there and say, hey, how come you didn't vote? Go to the Latino neighborhoods. Hey, how come you didn't vote? Go to the white women, okay? Ask OG. He knows where they are. Go find the white women. Go find the white women. 63%
Where
of
the
those
white women?
You know, I am never going to support a women's cause again. Fuck women. Fuck women. That's all they're good for. And you know something? Donald Trump's right. They're only good to fuck. Now, grab them by the twat. That's what they're good for. And the reason is because they accept that and they vote for it. 63% of white women voted for that creep, knowing, you know, I don't want to ever hear again from a woman, he took advantage of me. Oh, he sexually abused me. Oh, you know, I don't want to hear about that. They voted for a guy who did that for the entire election cycle. Give me a fucking break. 63%. And going back to the football thing, the Browns, Jimmy Haslam, and the organization, they look back at the fan base, and we're supposed to forgive them. Just like I'm supposed to forgive some asshole cleaning woman who's not even a citizen in this country for treating me like shit when I'm trying to help them. The Browns fans base should not be sorry for speaking badly of the team. Come on, get your priorities straight. For God's sakes, I don't know how we get to this point. I have no idea. People aren't even thinking about what they're saying anymore. It's just a bunch of fucking drivel.
But we don't have a say in who runs the Browns and who plays for them and where they put their money. We do have that say with the United States government. And if we choose to exercise that right, then we are able to change it. But when we don't, then we shouldn't be able to complain about
it. Sean said, I've been grabbing pussy since he won, daring them to report me.
Call me, OG.
I think that's funny. You know something, Wiley, and you know I've been gracious in defeat in this campaign. You know that I have. A lot more gracious than Hillary was. That's for sure. He says, stop helping illegals, Moo, damn it. Will you stop adopting them? You got it?
But when he adopts them, they become legal, so you're wrong.
Wait a minute. Oh, booyah! Okay, that was a big booyah moment. All right. You know, look, and I'm kidding because you do it because you care and you're doing something to make somebody's life better. I thought that's what I was doing too. There's nothing wrong with helping people, but you know, it's a two-way street. When you help
Which
people,
country?
I'm not going to talk about that. What I do.
We live in Florida. We have the same patterns.
Yeah, it's
that are unique that are very unique to the U.S. I know Shell's got firsthand border exposure.
Hey, things are cool here. Nobody wants illegals in our city any more than anybody else does.
I mean, can you imagine a political party?
Because you're super military and
has nothing to do with it, you know. Mexican Americans that live here, they don't want illegals coming in here and hurting their children, attacking their schools, driving drunk. I mean, it has nothing to do with that. These people come over here and you know what they do? They get drunk and they drive and they hit some kid crossing the street. Or they go and they rob somebody because they don't have anything. And then that's the way they get caught. You know what? Nobody around here wants that any more than anyone else does.
You've got an international border city almost, you know, so you're...
No, it really is.
You
can see Mexico from my house.
Thank you, Sarah.
You really can.
But look, let me do this about African Americans too. The Democratic Party traditionally is the party that helped form the NAACP. The Jews helped form the NAACP. The Democratic Party assisted them with their right to vote, with their right for integrated education. It was the Democratic Party, not the Republican Party, that did that. And this is how they thanked us. When their own dark-skinned candidate ran, they came out and voted. When a white person ran in their party, they did not vote. Wayne County, Michigan was an embarrassment. Heavy African-American population concentrations. The state of Michigan could have been won easily if African-American voters in Wayne County that's where Detroit's located, had just shown up. You know, you want legislation, you want our help to legislate out what cops are doing to unarmed black males. You want our help. You want our help to help you survive in a bad, rugged environment. You want our help to help give you health care. You want our help. But when we need your help, you're not there. This is what offends me more than anything, because if you're humanistic, I don't expect to get anything back from somebody. I never got paid back by Spinner Dave when I bailed him out of jail to the tune of $5,000. But he had children at home. He had children at home. And those kids didn't have a father, and their mother was whoring around. And I wanted those kids to have a chance. You know, sometimes at some point you got to do something out of decency, not because there's something for you at the end of the rainbow. I mean, where I come from, the political background I come from, that's how you behave. You do things because you know they're the right thing to do. And what you get out of it is that warm, fuzzy feeling that you did the right thing. It's not that you get paid back. But you see, the black people are no different than Donald Trump, who wants to squeeze every bit of profit out of this, even if it means buying Chinese steel, even if it means whatever it takes to get ahead. If it means not paying a contractor who did work for him, or paying him for pennies on the dollar to save money to make his company look better, that's what America has become. And even the poorest members of society want my help and are willing to give nothing in return to help themselves. Not to help me, but to help themselves.
I agree.
It's just sad.
You know, and people can't even do good deeds anymore without telling the entire world about it. I mean, that's not the point of doing something good. The point of doing something good is to do something for someone without expecting anything in return. And if you do that every day, if you do it several times a day, you will be a better person. And if you expect nothing in return from anybody, you will never be disappointed in life. There's no reason you don't do something with the expectation that you will get rewarded.
Now, I can tell you.
Everybody wants rewarded for everything. I exist. I want free education. I want free healthcare. I want free this because my mommy's coddled me my entire life and I don't know how to take care of my fucking self. I really don't feel bad for these people.
30% of Hispanics voted for Trump. After
I think, you know what? I
he
think
called it rapists.
You know, and I think a lot of people are so sick and tired of Hillary Clinton and all of the money and all of the disgusting things that she's done in her lifetime that people are just fed up and they do want change. They don't even care what happens. They just know that she needed to be gone and that things do need to change. And you know what? Sometimes you have to take a chance. And I think that's what happened with this country. People are taking a chance on going a different direction and seeing where it goes. What's the worst can happen in 4 years? There's not going to be abortion overturned. Gay marriage is not going to be overturned. All of these things are not going to happen because he will not have the absolute power to do that. There's a thing in the system called checks and balances. We have different branches of the government for a reason. But if anybody would have paid attention in their basic social studies classes, they would know these things. Instead, they turn to social media and become warriors for social justice, and they sit on the computer all day and complain, and then they get bussed over to places to protest things that they absolutely have no idea what they're doing. They're acting out in the wrong manner. They're not being effective or proactive. They're just being destructive, and it's embarrassing.
And, you know, in answer to Ziffles, doing the right thing is a big picture. And doing the right thing is something to make yourself stronger, to make your family stronger. It's making a sacrifice to get up out of your easy chair and go to your local polling place and vote your interest. And you know something? There is nothing that anybody can ever say to me about the bigots who supported Trump. They went out and voted. they voted their conscience. I don't believe in their conscience. I don't agree with them. I don't think they've done the right thing. But they utilize their God-given right to vote. And what African Americans died for, the right to vote, for African Americans today not to vote is insulting.
They haven't been promised anything like they were with the first Obama
A toaster.
campaign.
Yeah,
I mean,
toaster.
people really thought that they were going to get free things from the government if they went out and voted for Obama. That's how deluded people are with the things that they buy from the media, which is completely controlled, by the way. You have to be stupid to think that anything you're seeing on CNN isn't passed through or written by somebody in the Hillary staff or the Soros family. All of it is completely run through before her. It's a fact. It's out there. It's public knowledge. And even somebody as big as the military, who's mixed, it's male and female, black, white, yellow, purple, Asian, gay, trans, bi, whatever. You know what? They see a woman who let 4 of their brothers die. They're not going to vote for someone like that. They're not going to vote for someone who does not have their best interest at heart. You can't tell me that Hillary gives a fuck about anybody but herself. Yeah. And I think people recognize that. That's what it boils down to. The lesser of two evils. That's what I had to go through. And I picked the lesser of two evils because I wish her nothing less than the fate she allowed Ambassador Stevens and the other men in Benghazi. That's what I wish for her. That's what she deserves.
And all I'll say about the Supreme Court, which is being talked about now in the chat room, is that the Republicans said that they were going to block any initiative if Hillary won. And as far as I'm concerned, if I were the Democratic Party, I would just try to filibuster the hell out of it and just try to do whatever damage they can do. And I know they can't do much now, but when a party comes out and says, we're not going to let something happen, we're going to break the constitutional law to prevent somebody from appointing a Supreme Court justice when they're seated in office, you know, we have problems in the country that are really, really deep. By the way, I like the cup there, Amsterdam, the Gator Cup. That was awesome. He was showing me a Gator Cup, a Palm Beach Gator Cup. That thing was wicked good. If you like Gator action, I kind of like that kind of thing. Here he goes. Go ahead. Well, say something. You have to say something for it to show on camera.
Gator.
Wally Gator. Wally Gator, the swinging alligator in the swamp.
There you go.
How's that?
Gator.
All right. Gator.
Okay. All right.
Laser beam.
Laser. $1 million. Okay, let's do this now. We're going to do the NFL pick show at this point because I've said everything I want to say, and that isn't a whole hell of a lot. But the Browns suck. Hugh Jackson sucks, and the truth of the matter is that don't get me started on the African American head coach initiative in the NFL, because if they're all as dumb as Jackson is, nobody would want one. 48 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock. Here we go. I got the Cleveland game right. Did everybody get the Cleveland game right?
Oh, yeah.
I told everyone to give the points against the Browns.
Yeah. Was that good?
Yeah. That was good.
Somebody has to give them points because in the second half they can't get any of their own. Let's start.
I didn't even watch the game, so.
And now Ironside. Oh, for God's sakes. I've got to host the beginning of this program, and I've got a president of the United States who just looks at me knowing that I'm a sausage muncher. I'm a stump jumper, a rump ranger.
Fudge packer.
I've got many more where that came from.
Tail gunner.
Mark is all upset because the Obama administration's just about at an end, and every time he saw Michelle Obama, he get a little lump in the bottom of his dashiki. I just wish it were for me.
I bet you do. He's a handsome man. He's aged terribly in the office, but that's what happens when you're in the presidency.
Yeah, Obama has grade, hasn't he? They all do.
Yeah, it's like not even just gray. It's like you can see the wear in their whole face. Like these guys that go to war. Seriously?
Yeah.
Green Bay at Tennessee.
I'm your mama's age.
All right, Green Bay at Tennessee. Here we go.
Who's going first?
We're going to go left to right. That means that Amsterdam is first. Okay. How about you, Keith?
Not.
Green
not
Bay
Tennessee.
wins.
Green Bay
I'll
wins.
say 27-17.
All right. Go ahead, Amsterdam. If you've had time to think about it. I know it's tough late in the fuse at your age.
24-13.
Green Bay. Michelle?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't really compare. Even if you just take Aaron Rodgers and Marcus Mariota, Mariota doesn't have anything. He's not leading this team to do anything spectacular, but against any big powerhouse team. So I think Green Bay will roll over them, and I think they'll hold their offense as well.
Yeah, I'm saying Green Bay wins. Next, we have Denver at New Orleans. Go ahead. Amsterdam, you ready for that one?
I am. Denver 34-21.
Boy, he's giving scores. All right, Keith. Denver or New Orleans?
Denver over New Orleans. 21-7.
Boy, he's really flying by the seat of his pants. Yeah, okay, I know. Michelle.
Denver looked like shit last weekend. I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints.
And so am I. They're at home, and, something good's got to happen there. Next, we have Los Angeles against the New York Jets. Amsterdam.
He's not even listening.
Jets.
All right.
I'll do Jets. How's that?
Flatulent Keith.
Jets. Jets. Jets.
God, when did this become like a special ed program,
A
Michelle?
long time ago. You know what? I think this will be the upset. I think the LA Rams have something in them, and if anybody can give it up, it's going to be the New York Jets. So I'm going with the Los Angeles Rams.
I think they have something in them too, but it's the dicks of every other team up their ass. I'm going for the New York Jets. Next, we have Atlanta, that surprise team, going up against Philadelphia. Carson Wentz is now down to a 500 record. And now people are beginning to say, well, he's got a great arm, but what do you think, Amsterdam, Atlanta, or Philadelphia?
Atlanta.
All right. How about you, Keith?
Give me Philly. Wentz all the way.
P-H-I-L-L. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I know. I've already heard it. Michelle.
I think Carson Wentz is being humanized every week. They're seeing that he's not immortal and he is just a rookie. I think that the team behind him is not as good as the Atlanta team, and therefore Atlanta's going to win.
And I'm picking Atlanta as well. Next, we have Chicago at Tampa Bay. Amsterdam is close to home.
Tampa Bay.
Okay, Keith.
Chicago. I want that smoking quarterback.
B-A-R-E-S. Okay, Michelle.
They're both crap, but I'm going to go with Chicago because Tampa Bay is really bad.
I'm going to say Tampa Bay gets a home win here because Chicago.
Oh, yeah?
Just simply awful. And it was so funny when they were showing the offensive coordinators of the Ravens to see Mark Trestman, and I went, God, the road through Cleveland is a long and smelly road. I'm going for Tampa Bay. Next, Minnesota at Washington. Tony the Calf has stayed away from this program because his Vikings have literally turned to shit. But can they actually lose now to the Redskins in Washington? Amsterdam.
Foreskins at home.
Okay, I follow you. Keith?
Yep. I'll go with that pick.
So you're going with Washington as well, the Foreskins. All right. Yeah, that's an expansive pick. Michelle.
No, the Redskins lose this game.
I'm going with the Redskins because fuck Minnesota, and this is fat boy in Minnesota misery.
Tony.
Poor Tony.
Well, Minnesota's known for meat packing, so that would explain it for Tony.
Well, I mean, Tony's going to overeat tremendously after this loss. Next, we have Kansas City at Carolina. Carolina kind of making a comeback, kind of, and Kansas City's been up and down. What do you think here, Amsterdam?
This is a tough game, but I'll go with KC.
On the road.
Road.
Right. If that happens, Ron Rivera will have his dick cut off. Keith?
On the road.
Dad me up. Carolina.
He that means he's going for Carolina. We have to really translate what this guy's saying. All right, Michelle.
I think Rivera knows that he's being watched and that he's being critiqued every week more than Cam Newton might be. I think they're going to have to pull it out. I think they know that it's kind of a must-win at this point. And Kansas City's been so unpredictable, really, that I think it'll be a good time for the Panthers to play like the Panthers.
And the interesting part of it is that Carolina is constructing a wall around the stadium in honor of Ron Rivera. Thank you. I'm going for Carolina in this one. Build that wall. Next, we have Houston. My favorite game of the week: Houston at Jacksonville. Yes, you have to pick one of them. Amsterdam.
Ooh, that's Jacksonville.
Keith.
Houston.
Michelle.
Every time I pick them, they lose and they disappoint me, but I'm going to go with Houston.
I'm picking Houston as well because Jacksonville, to me, could very well – one of two things could happen. Either
they could battle us for the worst team.
They could break off into the ocean and float away, and nobody would miss them. Or they could just admit what they really are, which is Georgians.
Southern Georgia.
That's exactly right. They're doing, hi, I don't know what you guys think, but I think I'm not going to go to no football game when I can skin me a raccoon. I'm going with Houston. Next, you have Miami at San Diego Superchargers, who are scoring a lot of points, giving up a lot of points. Who's going to win this one, Amsterdam?
The Chargers.
Keith?
Well, we all know who Miss Michelle is going to vote for, so I'll take the Chargers.
Oh, boy.
Plus, he's my quarterback on my fantasy team.
You know something? What can I tell you, Keith? If Donald Trump were in the room, he'd grab you because you're being a pussy. For God's sake. Thank you. Michelle.
Phillip Rivers is my man. You know that he is. And every week I notice that he's more and more charged up. They've got the stadium thing going. And as far as I'm hearing, the stadium is a go-ahead. It's going to be built about 3 blocks from Petco. Just because the measure didn't pass doesn't mean they're not going to build it. The measure was actually to tax hotels and things that were people coming into the city and spending money. So I don't really know why it didn't pass, but I know that the city is behind the team, and I know that the team is trying really hard to pull it out for the rest of the year, and Miami sucks. So I'm going to go with my San Diego Super Browns.
Super Browns, okay.
They're my San Diego Browns. They're so Brownsy. They're so Cleveland, it's a damn shame.
And I think it's wonderful they're building a stadium 3 blocks away from a pet store. At any rate, I'm going with San Diego as well.
A pet store.
Yeah, Jade Wolf is like, he'll go to that place. San Francisco at Arizona. I'm just going to say right off the bat, I'm never going to pick San Francisco to do anything. I'm going with Arizona. Everybody in agreement with me?
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, Moo.
I can see what Donald Trump would say. Wrong. At any rate, yeah.
That is you.
Wrong.
Never said.
How come nobody's grabbing me by the pussy? What the hell?
You don't come to Cleveland.
You have to, Michelle, you have to be more than a 5. Next, Dallas at Pittsburgh. You know how good Dallas looked against Cleveland with that great offensive line. Who's going to win, Amsterdam, Dallas or Pittsburgh?
Dallas.
Keith?
The boys.
Michelle?
Zeke. Give me the Zeke all the way. Dallas.
Right? And I said Michelle, and I got a male voice. So.
Oh,
Like, I like Zeke as much as everybody else, but I'm not a homer for him because he's not a true Buckeye. He's not from Ohio or anything, so it's whatever. He can do his own thing, and I wish the best for him. I hope he has an amazing rookie year and a breakaway and sets all sorts of records. That being said, Jerry paid for his game last weekend in Cleveland. He got what he wanted, and I don't see him winning against Pittsburgh. I'm picking Pittsburgh to win at home.
And I am too, because they don't lose 2 in a row like that. Or like that loss to the Ravens, who are not a good football team. And I think Pittsburgh doesn't lose 2 in a row, and that's why they always end up in the hunt somehow. Seattle at New England. This will be an interesting football game. Amsterdam?
New England. Too much
Keith? Keith?
yep. Pussy grabber. New England.
All right. I don't know what that meant, but I guess he's going for New England. Michelle.
This is going to be an interesting game. Seattle played pretty nasty last week. Richard Sherman did some deplorable things, if I may. And the way that he attacked the kicker and the way that he was attacking Ryan on the sideline with the stare down, I think that nobody's going to be tolerant of that kind of behavior in New England, especially the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick. He's said all week, Seattle, Seattle, Seattle. You don't prepare for the New England Patriots the way that the New England Patriots prepare for you. So therefore, I'm going with New England at home.
And I'm going with New England also. Last game is the Giants at home against the Cincinnati Bengals, Amsterdam.
Giants.
Bengals.
All right, Michelle. Tiebreaker. Tiebreaker.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one, but I can see the Bengals pulling it out. Bengals will win, and they're going to dominate our division again, as usual.
And I'm saying that the Bengals are going to win also in my upset pick of the week. So we have my 24-23. I'm saying the Bengals will win. I'm also saying New England will beat Seattle 27-21. And who would score the fewest points this week? The Cleveland Browns. So far, I'm doing good. Real. All right. So we're done. And I got to watch the Cavs
We made
game.
it.
Yeah, so I want to get and watch the Cavs game. I would not want to be the Washington Generals tonight. I would not want to be that team. Cleveland clearly was not ready to play in their last game because LeBron said the election was more important than basketball, and we saw how that went. Now you're going to have a bunch of angry, high-jumping, fast-running Negroes, and they are going to run rampant over Washington tonight. Everybody watch this game. The Cavs are going to be good on the road. Watch it happen.
Correct.
Hey, Keith, thanks for joining us. Amsterdam, thanks for joining us. And
Thanks.
Michelle, I'm glad you used your brain and got back into the show.
I'm so proud that you're proud of me. Yay. Hey, can I say one last thing? I
Yes.
heard a rumor that Tristan dumped Chloe because he was tired of being made fun of. They were calling him Tristan Kardashian, and so the word is that he dumped her. So we shall see how well that went, and we'll see if it's true.
Well, the only thing I'm afraid of is that he's going to take her back on the rebound because he gets so many of them. Many of them are offensive rebounds, and that would be as offensive as they get. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. Thank you. We're gone until Monday. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on Monday. Until then, hasta la vista, Pastor Heads. Good night.